And we're back again at you guys.
For question number 5. And that question is
there homework? Can you fail YWAM? And that's it. Take it away.
so for what we did, Discipleship Training School, DTS, there's absolutely zero homework. Besides, actually, now that I think of it, there was a little bit, but
You didn't have
it's
to.
not like writing down on paper
it's
homework,
not
but it's
homework,
like
I think.
it's like for some assignments they'll be like, go out and spread the gospel with 2 people today. Go out and prepare, like if you were to write some sort of sermon. And none of it is forced, none of it is pressured, but if you want to get the most out of it, then you just want to go for it with your full heart. But there's no homework, so when you get to free time at either 3 in the afternoon or 5 in the afternoon, it's completely free to go to the beach, to go to tropical smoothie, which is actually not there, but you know what I mean.
Mauna Kea, the awesome
Mauna
mountain
Kea.
volcano.
Or any amazing, beautiful Hawaii place. And
Cut. And tropical smoothie. And we're back. Hey guys, question number 6. Question number 6 is, what are tracks? Maybe you guys have never even heard what that is. If you're going to YWAM, you have to choose a track, which is honestly, best way I can describe it is just like a specialty that you're going to go into. Like everyone's going into DTS, YWAM, Fire and Fragrance, but within Fire and Fragrance, under that umbrella, there's tracks. And the one I did was in Compassion Ablaze. And that's basically just focusing on like the mercy ministries, like the homeless ministry, adoption, abortion, like big things like that, where they would teach us how to host these events where we can help the homeless, feed the poor, just provide for like whoever needs it.
Mm-hmm. And my track that I chose was Messenger's track, which basically it was teaching you how to communicate, not just publicly, but in a bunch of different situations. So they focused on 3 main things: how to preach the gospel to somebody, how to share your testimony with somebody, and then how to share a burning heart message or just something that God's placed in your heart with somebody. And if you want to be pushed outside of your comfort zone, and honestly, I would say most people saw the most spiritual growth in their life when they did Messengers, just because they push you so hard. I would choose Messengers. Who would you say should choose Compassion?
I would choose, I don't know what I was trying to say, but basically choose Compassion Ablaze if you really have that heart for the really low person,
Mm-hmm.
the really like broken people,
Mm-hmm.
like broken families, broken children, people on the streets. If you have that heart for those people and you just don't want to be that person that's in the front of everyone getting all the attention, but if you're that
Mm-hmm.
person in the background praying for somebody, do Compassion Ablaze.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's other tracks other than these 2. The other ones that were there while we were in Kona were Messengers, Compassion Ablaze, RTC, which was basically like a CrossFit workout thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was music, media, and there were also more that were not available for us
Mm-hmm.
because of COVID. But those were things like the trades, like if you're good at building things in that area.
Mm-hmm.
What were the other
Prayer
ones?
room.
Prayer room, cool things like that.
Farmer, yeah.
Farming. I mean, who knew?
Bunch of random things, but tracks are not, if you choose the wrong track, your life is not over, because it's only 2 times a week for 2 hours each, or 1 hour each, right?
Something like that. It
Yeah.
might not be the same for you, but that's what it was.
It was not the biggest deal, although I think if both of us were to redo it, he would choose Messengers as well. Is that correct?
Probably.
Because in the moment, it's like leading up to it, I was like, I don't know if I want to have to stand up and preach to like my group around me or in front of a stage or something like that. And I had a fear of public speaking going into it, but not saying I wouldn't be completely nerve-free going in front of 1,000 people, but it really ripped out a lot of fear of man from him, just because they just attack. Fear of man and fear of public speaking. And I think if
Yeah.
I were to recommend it to anybody going back, I would probably recommend
Yeah.
Messenger's track.
And if honestly, if you're torn between the two, if you have an amazing music ability,
Yeah.
or camera, whatever the heck they do, and you really want to grow in your public speaking, just because you choose Compassion Ablaze or music or media doesn't mean that when you're on outreach,
Mhm.
you're not going to ever do public speaking.
That's true.
Everyone on my team, and maybe everyone on his team, we all spoke in front of a large crowd.
But you don't have to.
Right, yeah. They don't pressure you, of course.
A lot of people are afraid of coming. I've talked to people that are afraid of coming because they feel like they're going to have to post all these things on Instagram that are going to make them feel weird or speak in front of people. That's not the truth. They push you as far as you want to go.
Yeah.
But most people, when they go, Jesus just like wrecks them and starts to just move in their heart to the point where they want to do those things. And that's what happened with both of us. But also, I would say the other way around too. If you have such a music ability or any like media ability or whatever, I wouldn't say feel pressured to doing the tracks. I had some amazing friends who were very gifted in those areas, and they chose to do messengers, and they got so many opportunities to still be a part of media or still do their musical talents like in front of people. So, yeah.
And cut.
All right, guys, for take number 8, we don't have any more funny intros that we could think of. So if you have any good ideas, drop them in the comments below. There should be a link right here.
And or you could follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is Moses the Killa Johnson at 99.
And mine is Sammy_Ezekiel Sawyer 24.
Yep. Those are our Instagrams. Believe it or not, we are verified. I have around 13 million followers.
Really? Because last time I checked, you had under 50.
What can I say? And this is question number 8, where we are going to be talking about how much money you should bring. And so besides tuition, I would recommend bringing as much money as you can bring. And Ezekiel's going to explain how the tuition is kind of divided up a little bit.
So the first half, at least for YWAM Kona, lecture phase is $4,000. When you pay that, you're locked and loaded. The second half is outreach, obviously. And because our outreach was in the United States, even when we were putting the $4,000 in to solidify our outreach deposit, it still changed a little bit. It was $6,000 in total for us, which in the United States is going to be a lot more expensive than any other country, just because it's more expensive to buy things in the United States than everywhere else. But just to be sure, I would bring an extra couple, maybe $2,000, just in case anything changes. And if it doesn't change, then praise God, because you got more spending money.
Yep.
Or giving money.
And like you said, I would also recommend bringing $1,000 to $2,000 of spending money.
At least.
At least, yeah. If you can bring more, bring it. But we just use that money to go on crazy, awesome adventures and excursions on the weekends. Like we would rent U-Haul trucks with a bunch of our friends and put people in the back of the pickup trucks, because it's legal to ride in the back of a pickup truck. So you can put 15 people in the back of that thing. Split up the cost.
Cheap. Yeah.
Super cheap. Go across the whole island, drive up the side of the mountain of Mauna Kea, watch the stars. We went snorkeling a couple of times. We swam with dolphins. We went night snorkeling with manta rays. Went to all these awesome beaches.
Deep sea fishing, we caught that.
We caught this right here behind us with our bare hands. We didn't even have poles. We just grabbed it. And so that is what I would recommend bringing, just so you can do awesome, awesome things.
And also, one recommendation that we have is you want to go to as many places as you can, obviously. One thing we did was we rented mopeds, and it was only $250 for a month. And we only did 1 month, but if we would have known about it right when we got there, we would have rented it and just done like all 3 months of lecture, because it was so much fun.
So worth it.
Every day, like after classes are over and stuff, you can just go right around to wherever you want. Whenever you want groceries, you can go and get groceries and put them in the little compartment under your seat.
Taco Bell, baby.
Like we said before, no Wendy's, which sucks.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately,
there's still some pretty good restaurants around.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. Rent a moped if you have the money.
Yeah.
But if you don't have $1,000 to $2,000 of extra spending money, you're not screwed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that stayed home each weekend, and a bunch of people do. So it's like you're not going to be left in the dust. And there's a lot of fun things that go on at home too in campus. There's usually groups of people that walk down to this place called Coconut Grove, where there's sand volleyball and a bunch of fun things. So don't feel pressured, but if you want to do crazy excursions like we did, try to bring as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. And cut. And we're back again at you with no cool intro, but that's why you guys are commenting.
Again, right here. So, question number 9 is, how do you make friends at YWAM? This sounds super cheesy, but we know that a lot of people were stressed about friend situations going in. We felt we were like, well, we're gonna have each other, so we don't really have to worry because we both literally live 5 minutes away from each other. If I was gonna go back, I would say him and I didn't even cling to each other. It was like a thing where we got there, and initially, just at the very beginning, we were like, yeah, we need to make friends together. We need to do everything together. But then it's like, you just meet incredible people. Like, so many people are just so Christ-like, and it's like, imagine the coolest people you've ever met times 100. Exactly. That's who, we met a bunch of people that were like Jesus. Mm-hmm. And the way that I made friends specifically was, first off, you get put in with we had 4 roommates in total. Most people, it'll be 8 of you. We'll go over rooms and rooming situations a little bit later. But we had 3 or 4 roommates in total. And so we already had a core group of guys that we kind of knew when we were going around campus and stuff. And then you just over time just make new friends through sand volleyball, or we play a lot of spike ball, or people play cards all the time, or the cafeteria is going to be open for you guys, so eating will be good community place. And would you have any other recommendations, or is that pretty much it?
I think that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you, Moses.
You're welcome.
You're a man of God.
Ezekiel, my friend.
And cut.